London, New York, and Tokyo, three cities that stand as the world's financial capitals. They have each earned this title through unique histories, and each represents the economic heartbeat of its respective region. But it wasn't always that way. Their journey to becoming global financial centres is a tale of adaptation, strategy, and a reflection of the broader changes in world trade and power. Let's start with London. The story of London's rise to financial prominence begins centuries ago, back in the 16th century. At that time, England wasn't just a small island off the coast of Europe. It was becoming a rising naval power, building its empire and expanding its influence across the seas. Trade routes were being established, and England's colonies across the world were fueling the economy. London, as the heart of this empire, became a natural hub for international commerce. Yet, it wasn't just about trade that gave London its financial strength. Institutions like Lloyd's of London, PLW, played a pivotal role. In the late 1600s, Lloyd's W began as a coffee house where merchants and ship owners gathered to discuss shipping, and eventually grew into a global insurance giant. In 1694, the establishment of the Bank of England, W, provided a more formal structure for England's finances and laid the groundwork for modern banking. As the financial world began to evolve, so did London. The London Stock Exchange, W, which started in the 18th century as a simple place for traders to meet, grew into one of the largest and most important stock exchanges in the world. By the 19th century, with the height of British colonialism, London wasn't just a European power, it was the financial centre of the world. But what made London truly global was its access to resources and the connections made possible by its far-reaching empire. London became the centre of not just traditional banking, but also trade, insurance, and investment. The creation of complex financial instruments and systems in the 20th century solidified its reputation as the go-to location for finance. As the world became more interconnected, London's ability to bridge gaps between Europe, Asia, and the Americas made it a key player in shaping global finance. Then came New York. The story of New York's emergence as a global financial centre is somewhat different, as its rise is tied to the growth of the United States. The city itself wasn't initially the financial powerhouse we know today. Early on, New York was focused on trade and industry, and it was only in the 18th century that it started to make its mark in the world of finance. In 1792, the New York Stock Exchange, W, was founded, providing a formal venue for trading and a structure that would become the backbone of America's financial markets. But it was really in the 19th century, with the Industrial Revolution, that New York began to rise as a global force. As America's industrial output grew, so did New York's financial prominence. The city became the nexus of financial activity in the Western Hemisphere. The real turning point for New York came after World War II. The United States emerged as the dominant global power, and with the Bretton Woods Agreement of 1944, the US dollar became the world's reserve currency. This decision put New York at the centre of international finance. Wall Street, which had long been the heart of New York's financial district, became the symbol of global capital. By the mid-20th century, New York was home to some of the world's largest investment banks, and the city's financial sector saw rapid growth. The 1980s marked the beginning of financial deregulation in the US, with policies that allowed Wall Street to thrive even further. With the rise of technology in the 1990s, New York's financial sector integrated digital advancements, making it even more efficient and interconnected with the rest of the world. Throughout the 2000s, New York continued to solidify its place as the epicenter of global finance, driving not only American but global economic growth. The combination of its strategic location, access to resources, and innovative financial practices turned New York into a magnet for capital, talent, and influence. Finally, we have Tokyo. Tokyo's story doesn't begin with centuries of empire building or long-established financial institutions. Instead, Japan's emergence as an economic powerhouse came after World War II. In the early part of the 20th century, Japan was an isolated nation, but with the Meiji Restoration in the late 19th century, Japan began to modernize and industrialize. As the country opened up to international trade, Tokyo became a hub for industry and commerce. The real turning point for Tokyo came after World War II, when Japan underwent a rapid economic reconstruction. This rebuilding process allowed Japan to become one of the world's largest economies by the 1960s. The creation of the Tokyo Stock Exchange, W, and the subsequent rise of financial institutions in the city allowed Tokyo to tap into the global economic system. As Japan became known for its cutting-edge technology and strong industrial base, Tokyo's importance as a financial center grew. The city's rise was driven not only by its local economic growth, but also by its position as Asia's financial hub. In the 1980s, Tokyo experienced a massive economic boom. As Japan's economy flourished, so did its financial sector. The growth of the yen W as a global currency also played a major role in Tokyo's rise. Tokyo became a crucial player in the global financial system, particularly in terms of investment and trade within the Asian market. However, the city's economic bubble burst in the early 1990s, leading to a long period of stagnation. Despite this setback, Tokyo managed to retain its importance as a financial center for Asia and the world. Today, London, New York, and Tokyo continue to shape global finance, each in its own way. London remains the heart of European finance, its historic institutions continuing to influence global trade and investment. New York, with its unmatched innovation and technological integration, stands as the financial engine of the Western world. And Tokyo, despite its ups and downs, remains a powerhouse in Asia, with its economy continuing to play a crucial role in global financial markets. The rise of these cities wasn't just due to their individual strengths, it was also about timing. As the world became more interconnected, London, New York, and Tokyo were well positioned to capitalize on the economic changes happening around them. Whether through trade, industrialization, or financial innovation, these cities transform into the financial capitals of the world, setting the stage for global economic dynamics. Their rise was and continues to be influenced by the larger geopolitical forces at play, the constant evolution of the financial systems, and the changing patterns of global trade. London, New York, and Tokyo are more than just cities, they are global financial ecosystems, each one driving the flow of money, investments, and capital that keeps the world's economy moving. These cities have not only created the infrastructure necessary for financial activity, but have also fostered an environment where innovation, ambition, and risk-taking can thrive. As the world continues to change, one thing is certain: London, New York, and Tokyo will continue to play a crucial role in shaping the future of global finance, as they have for centuries.